Wins, challenges, health, wealth, and learning, and yelling wives in the background. So this week recap, health. I was sticking strong to low carb, but damn, I fell off for like 3 days straight. So tonight we're going out with some friends, and I'm gonna enjoy that, some rich, decadent food, and then back on the wagon tomorrow, get back on my counter. Wealth. This is interesting. Inside baseball on 4x4 recall, I'm trying to broaden these horizons here. There's a lot of men that I want to talk to that bleed into the entrepreneurship side, the sales operations, revenue operations side that I do, and now the local business content. So not all those men need dating. So I can't say it's fair to call this a dating podcast. It's still a men's interest podcast. I think it's always been a men's interest podcast, and it's going to stay that way. But you're going to hear a lot more around the concept of what a 4x4 man is, and then it's branded around a men's interest podcast. So if someone were to say, like Men's Health Magazine in podcast form, in video podcast form, or like Men's Fitness Magazine in podcast form. And I think that's the long-term play for me, because I know that I will do that without ever even having an offer. And that's another problem, specific on the wealth. If you want to do content creation, I'm working with a lot of the local entrepreneurs, you have to have an offer on the back end of it. And I cannot say on the men's interest theme specifically that the author is anything, that the offer is anything other than the fact that it's a platform, it's a podcast. So there was a lot of fire hose knowledge to swallow around getting the video content up. And I feel really good about it. Dropping another episode this Monday. I'm excited for it. The intros are like a fun creative outlet for me. And I feel good about that. So I'm going to double down on the podcast platform, keep doing the weekly debrief lives, and then probably dumping a lot more local business content on the personal brand, on the Chad Tabry brand. So health, wealth, learning. These things always overlap. I will say I had a lot of work, travel, and board prep this week. And I've done a lot of executive-facing presentations and a lot of VP level conversations, even C-suite level conversations. It's a whole different animal when you're talking to the actual money, the private equity firms that back this, or if you're trying to go public, the investor side when you're dealing with the banks that underwrite it, et cetera. So a lot of learning on that front. Took on some new teams, some issues that I can't speak freely about on that yet, but there's a lot of learning there that I'm excited to share with those team leaders, those managers themselves, to make sure that they're dialed in. My next hurdle, what I want to get to for the content production is at least, or multicam, we'll just call it multicam or dual cam. So dual cam presentations so that we can tap into having interesting guests but not doing it on Zoom. I think that's the most important part. Anyone can create content. Everyone should create content, it would be my argument. And then I want to see them doing it at the highest quality possible. So capturing talking head videos like this one, pretty simple. Getting a second camera in the mix, syncing good sound in post-production, that's a whole different animal. So excited to lean into that. And then wins, the long form is, I wouldn't say it's effortless, but man, it just feels natural. Using tools like Opus Clip to figure out what the intro should be, snipping that up, getting music and sounds on there is a lot of fun now. I don't sweat it, it's a quick process. You just throw that intro on there and then upload that and schedule that for the Monday release. Challenges, I wouldn't say finding the branding is a challenge, but I've always known that 4x4 Recall is about the 4x4 man. That is your modern day Renaissance man. That is the modern day business leader, entrepreneur, business professional that still has to figure out how to chop wood and carry water. Does that make sense? So 4x4 Recall has always been about how to be a 4x4 man. I think the challenge now is dialing in the branding so that it's clear what men's interest means, this notion of Men's Health Magazine in podcast form, this notion of collaborating with other contributors that actually want to offer a course. I never went into this wanting to be a quote unquote dating coach or wanting to be a quote unquote course producer. I would much rather create the platform, have the conversations, be the thought leader, and then affiliate into other people's courses, etc. That's it. Let me know your own wins, your own challenges. We're getting close into 2025. Focus on your health, wealth, and learning goals. What's that going to look like for you for 2025? And I'll see you in the next one.